and gentlemen, a very warm welcome back to the action that is coming to you from Copenhagen. Time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, from Austria, please welcome Rusty Jake Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen, from Aldershot, England, it's time to meet the Machine, James Wade!
Four games down in round two of the inaugural Danish Darts Open, and 2 seeds out, 2 seeds through. John Henderson was beaten by Brendan Dolan, the number 16 seed, departing despite being in a promising position in the match at 4-1 up. And Johnny Clayton, well, an even more promising position because he had chances to win the game against Darius Labanauskas. 5 of them squandered by the Ferret, and he will head back to Wales and won't be adding to his European Tour success this weekend at least. Joe Cullen and Gerwyn Price, well, they made it through safely, both picking up 6-3 successes against Madas Razmat and Jelle Klaasen respectively. But a shock result here would surely end up being the shock of the day as 17-year-old Rusty Jake Rodriguez takes on the multiple major champion James Wade. I'm Chris Murphy, and Rob Malarkey is alongside me.
Yeah, James Wade, an overwhelming favourite to win this one, 5-1 on with the majority of bookies. Rusty Jake, 130 or so, and it's the Austrian teenager who gets things started, and he gets things started with an absolute bang. Well, that'll settle him down no end. If he was feeling any nerves, he certainly didn't look to be displaying too many as he made his way onto the stage.
Yeah, that's the thing about the young players these days. Bags of confidence, little respect for the quality of their opponent. They know it's them. They've got 3 darts each. Let's go. He's taking the game to James Wade from the off. The Machine, we have to give credit for him, working his way back into the seedings for these European Tour, largely down to his performances in the very early European Tour events this year. He was kind of threatening to perhaps take a title, wasn't he? But didn't materialise. That's kind of cancelled out the maximum from the young Austrian.
Yeah, he hit 4 yesterday, did Rusty Jake, in that 6-5 win over William O'Connor. Nobody scored more than 4 180s yesterday. Adam Hookvale hit 4 in his defeat.
97. Rusty record 138.
Rusty Jake had a 104 checkout as well yesterday. Can he find a 138 checkout here? He may well do. And he does. It is a 138 checkout. And Rusty Jake, well, it's a hold of throw, but in many ways it will feel almost like a break of throw because James Wade was primed and ready and must have been surely expecting that he would get the opportunity. But Rusty Jake Rodriguez not reading the script there. Brilliant start.
Wow. Wonderful start from Rusty Jake Rodriguez. A 180 to open the match and a 138 to finish off the first leg against one of the greatest players this game has ever seen. Many would say the best never to win a World Championship title.
There's been plenty of others.
Yeah, you could have a great debate about that one, couldn't you? But who is the best player never to have won a World Championship? But James Wade's best chance perhaps came in that 2012 tournament when he saw his hopes go with the wind against Adrian Lewis in the semi-finals. As Jack went on to clinch his second world crown. We will see Adrian Lewis this evening in the standout match of the day, Saturday night against Michael Smith.
Tasty.
97.
Well, it was this weekend last year when Rusty Jake made his European Tour debut, his only previous European Tour experience. But you'd think he'd been playing it for years, the way he's acclimatised here.
Yeah, 180 in each of the first two legs. He had a ton-plus finish.
80.
James Wade doesn't follow, but he'll return for his trademark part of the game, when the machine is well oiled. Tops and tens
60.
are a formality.
Tops and tens it is. Will it be a formality? Not on this occasion. Raised eyebrows in the commentary box collectively. Rusty Jake looking at 1-2-4. Treble 18, just underneath the wire.
92.
That would have been interesting had he found that treble 18. I wouldn't have been too surprised if he'd followed it up with the bullseye. But James Wade does take out double 10, but only just. He was very close to straying into the double 6 there. But it is one apiece, and it's a very, very bright and breezy start to this fifth match of the day. 16 years old when Rusty Jake Rodriguez made his European Tour debut in Vienna in June of last year. He beat Richie Edhouse 6-2 in his opening match. He hit 5 180s in that one.
43.
And then he gave Kim Huybrechts a very good run for his money in the second round before losing 6-3. Not the youngest players who have ever played on the European Tour. That particular accolade goes to Max Hopp, who was 2 months beyond his 16th birthday when he turned up at the Dutch Masters in 2012.
100.
Rodriguez can't even claim to be the first player born in this millennium to play on the European Tour. That honour goes to Nico Blum, who played at the German Open in April of last year. Blum is just 11 days older than Rodriguez. Both of them born in December of 2000.
45.
As for James Wade, it's been interesting to watch his fall and rise,
96.
as it were. A similar kind of graph going on that Adrian Lewis would have if you put it in such terms. However, Adrian Lewis's fall was perhaps more dramatic,
81.
lower down in the world rankings, but partly because he had more money to defend. But James Wade has worked his way back up into the
58.
seedings for these tournaments. He's managed to work his way back up into the world's top 10 as well. The seeding for this is the same as his order of merit position.
105.
Yeah, this is Wade's 8th appearance on the Euro Tour this year, his second as a seeded player. That's found a single 15, and he was looking for treble 19 for double 10. It didn't quite work out for him on that occasion, but he'll be hopeful of returning. But with James Wade, you just never know.
You certainly don't, because he's found the first part, so 17 or treble.
Oh, beautiful.
Now double 8 for 127 in game, but it's got away from James Wade.
32.
Well, Rusty J. Rodriguez more than holding his own against the multiple major winner James Wade.
Yeah, it really is, and I think the longer he manages to do that, the more interesting this game is going to be, because everybody knows, all the players know how lethal James Wade is when it comes to finishing especially. And you think that perhaps Rusty Jake in the infancy of his career could be forgiven for folding if Wade starts to get away with this. So the longer he can keep it close, the more he piles the pressure. And I guess that's the kind of mentality he needs to have, isn't it? All the pressure is on the man with a great stature in the sport.
Yeah. Well, talking of ruthless finishing, Gibraltar was very eventful for James Wade. He had a a 6-5 win against Ross Smith, in which he had to overturn a 5-3 deficit, but Smith was 5 out of 5 on his doubles that day. And Denmark is proving just as eventful for James Wade so far as well. He's got a cushion of 300 minus these.
That levels up the maximum tally. That's a wild one, but he's got plenty of time on his side. Oh, another one the wrong side of the intended segment. Not often you see that one, James Wade.
Yeah, a bit of a messy visit that from Wade, but like you say, he's got a little bit of room for manoeuvre here with Rusty Jake on 2-8-9 and still not down to a finish either. Tops and tens the route here for James Wade, but he doesn't need to find the tens because he finds tops, and we're level once again at 2 apiece. Wade, of course, after beating Ross Smith, was then involved in what was, for me, a classic against Adrian Lewis in Gibraltar. Wade averaging 105.6, Lewis averaging nearly 106 in a 6-5 defeat against Lewis. Could have gone either way. Lewis checking out on 86 when Wade was waiting to pounce on 32.
On the European Tour this year, James Wade, he reached a semi-final in the first couple of events when he was beaten in each of them by Peter Wright. Then he reached a final in Sindelfingen at the start of last month, but since then, and there have been a fair few tournaments since then, 6 tournaments before this one, James Wade hasn't made it past the last 16 of any of them. There's been a bit of a dip, a bit of a stalling of his resurgence, it seems. The little caveat we can throw in there is he has run into some incredible performances. That match against Lewis in Gibraltar was breathtaking.
It was. It was, I mean, unfortunate, I suppose, that the two of the giants of the game came together so early in Gibraltar, or relatively early. 161 ain't going to go for Rodriguez here, so Wade is looking at 1-2-1 again.
It's almost looking like the match is going to turn when James Wade takes one of these checkouts out. He seems to be in this kind of position in every leg. Once again, he's missed the chance.
Rusty required 97.
Can Rodriguez keep his nose in front? Double top to do it.
Well, he was under pressure there because James Wade was on 25, sitting on 25 after that missed ball for a 3-2 lead, but it's Rodriguez who gets his nose back in front at 3-2. And this is a really mature display by Rusty Jake Rodriguez. He's not panicking. He's doing what he needs to do at just the right time. And there'll be those who, I mean, when you talk about progression and the fact that Rusty Jake is doing the bulk of his good work on the development tour, that is perhaps beginning to pay dividends to an extent as well, because this year he's made 1 semi-final and 3 quarter-finals on the development tour. He's getting into that habit of putting a few wins together, and having qualified at long last for a Euro Tour event, I think some of that is bearing fruit here this weekend. It's certainly giving him a great deal of confidence. He's got that youthful exuberance about him as well.
Yeah, one of them, he was beaten by his brother, Robbie Jordan, wasn't he?
Yeah. Won his first development tour title in May of last year in Germany. £2,000 in his bank account for that as well. That obviously makes a big difference as well. And 180s will make a big difference too. In this match, just a ton 40, but Rusty Jake still hanging on to the coattails of James Wade. If Wade can't find the treble here, it might just give Rusty Jake something to work with.
Did win a senior event too, Rusty Jake, not in the PDC, but the Hungarian Masters in 2016 as a 15-year-old, I believe. Now Wade, well, he was looking at a big finish, but once again on throw, not one he needed to take out. And it was unlikely that Rusty Jake Rodriguez was going to go out and steamroll James Wade, but he's kept himself competitive on his own legs, and that's all he needs to do, having won the ball at the start of the match. If he can win his own legs, he'll win the match.
Yep, and that's the position he's in, and it may well go down to another 11-leg encounter here. James Wade back on terms at 3 apiece. Now, if you weren't with us yesterday, and you're just joining us for the first time this weekend, it's worth noting again, or worth pointing out again, that Rodriguez came through 3 rounds of qualifying at the end of May for this. And when you look at who he overcame, Kim Huybrecht, 6-5 in his first match, Mike Langendorf, who's had Euro Tour experience as well, 6'3". And the Dutchman Mario Robert, 6'4" as well. 3 very, very significant scalps for Rusty Jake, especially Hybrids.
120.
Well, James Wade, I think this is the sort of match he'll enjoy.
99.
In that he's been given a good workout here, but you just sense perhaps that Wade might just step it up a little bit in the next leg and a half or so. He's not stepping it up here though, and Rusty Jake again has a great chance
55.
to go 4-3 in front, because that was a below par visit by James Wade.
Really needs at least 1 treble in this visit. 2 would be superb.
100.
Just the 1, but once again he's in a good position to hang on to his throw. The slight problem for Rusty Jake is he's having to hang on to his throw. It was never going to be easy. Wade gives him a little bit more breathing space perhaps. Once again on 120 something. So RJR is not going to go out. James Wade needs a 120 something finish. He'll be looking at the 19 for it.
26.
If he gets 1 treble, it's a bullseye. If he gets 2, it's double 6.
Bullseye for Wade.
101. I see you going 41.
Double 14 now. He was looking at double 14 before when he was on the 19s, and he finds double 14 this time anyway.
Keeps doing it, doesn't he?
Keeps just
clinging on,
satisfying his side of the equation, and it's another holder throw, and Wade is running out of opportunities to break the Rodriguez throw, and Rodriguez now will be thinking to himself, okay, 2 more holes of throw and I'm there. Doesn't matter what James Wade does on his throw. It's a dangerous game to play if that's your line of thinking, but he must be taking a huge amount of encouragement. But of course, as the game draws on, as it reaches its climax, the nerves really will begin to take hold for Rodriguez, and he'll know as well as anyone that when he's on the cusp of what would be a very, very special result, that's when all those factors may well come to play their part.
Can he keep hitting when it comes to the crunch? I mean, what he's really doing here is outwading Wade, because James Wade has this habit of being a player who perhaps more than any other has earned some massive sums of money by winning matches despite having a lower average than his opponent.
100.
But here today, Rodriguez, there's a gulf of 12 points or so in the averages. But the thing is,
25.
Rusty Jake is having below par visits on the Wade throw, and when it's come to the Rodriguez throw, that's when he's done the damage, and it doesn't really matter that his average is only 82 or so, because he's scoring well on his own throw.
Would have to rustle back through each leg stats, but I'm just trying to recall from memory. I think James Wade's missed one dart double in nearly all of the legs that Rusty Jake, if not all of them, has won. But they have been for big finishers.
60.
A big finish here will really turn the match in RJR's favour, and it's on, and that is a perfect dart for him. Double top for 160 checkout. This would bring the house down. They might have brought James Wade down too.
And that would have been for a break of throw, but James Wade here looking at double 10, and no problem whatsoever for James Wade, just taking that one completely in his stride. Rodriguez, I just wonder, I mean, he took a bit of a time there before that attempt at double 20, but he's back in the big numbers once again. And this is underlining what we were saying, just doing all the damage, all the big scoring on his throw.
Well, whatever happens here, Rusty Jake Rodriguez will be making people stand up and take notes.
Certainly will. 2 180s so far, 3 180s now, a 138 checkout. He's 4 apiece with James Wade. And as I say, these opportunities for Wade to find this all-important break are, well, they're running out.
Could well be witnessing the story of the day here at the Danish Darts Open. And he's getting the support of the crowd just through the way he's taking the match to one of the game's greatest players.
He is not looking overawed in the slightest, and James Wade once again may well come away without a treble once more. So Rusty Jake Rodriguez has 6 starts from here. He's now looking at 104. He's found the triple 18, has he? I think it's just snuck in, and he's gone for the bullseye as well, when he didn't really need to.
He backed himself, hit it. I just wonder if that was, I just want to get this leg won as quick as possible, but he could come to pay the price.
121. Rusty records 61.
Well, actually, he wasn't on it, was he? Just
Must have been a single 18, yeah. We do apologise for that. It was a deceptive camera angle.
Now then, James Wade had chances, but none of them has been as good as this on the Rusty Jake Rodriguez throw. But it's only going to be 1 dart. Once again, 1 dart to break, and this time he hits.
Typical James Wade. Just finding that breakthrough in the 9th leg. And that's that's devastating for him, because he'd worked so hard to get himself into that position, and he had opportunities there for a 5-4 lead. Not to be.
Well, what's he got left? Rusty Jake Rodriguez knows he had put himself in a fantastic, but he was a little bit unlucky in that previous leg, because he had 61 left. He was aiming to hit the 25 when he hit the bullseye, so only got 1 dart at double.
99.
Almost too accurate. It's when you go for a bullseye on those shots, you're kind of aiming for the ball but hoping you miss.
And you just wonder whether that missed dart at double 4 for a 5-4 lead is beginning to have an impact here, because it's been a very sluggish start by Rusty Jake on the Wade throw.
We talked about earlier on, we said the game would turn when James Wade stepped in and took that chance. It's been 1 dart doubling, I think, every single leg on Rodriguez's throw. That time he hit it, and now he's motoring on towards the finish line, and a 2nd round clash with Joe Cullen. Yeah, 3rd round clash rather, sorry.
Yeah, Joe Cullen coming through earlier today, and Wade here closing in on a victory that would set up a meeting with the Yorkshireman tomorrow in the final day of action here in Copenhagen. Double 10 for Wade, and you know the rest. James Wade sees off the challenge of the 17-year-old Rusty Jake Rodriguez, but James Wade, I think, may well acknowledge what a great performance that was by the youngster, and it's certainly a performance that will make a few people sit up and take notice. Just those fine margins really doing the damage there. A missed dart at double 4 for a 5-4 lead, and from that moment on you could just tell that the match had turned, and James Wade, as James Wade so often does, fully capitalises and pounces, and with an average of 95.29 secures his place in the last 16. James Wade through, winning by 6 legs to 4. Darren Webster and Cristo Reyes on the win.
James, congratulations. A nip and tuck game, but one of those that you specialise in, coming through those tight ones.
Oh, I got lucky, didn't I? No, I mean, he kept hitting the finishes on the last start and stuff, you know, and obviously I wasn't firing all cylinders, and it was really frustrating. And when I got my shot on the 80, I made it count.
We'll see you through to the final day now. You've been threatening this year, particularly at the start of the year in these European tours, that just within grasp at a 3rd one of these Euro Tour titles. You feeling like this could be the weekend?
Oh, I don't think of things like that. I've been there and done my things of time and stuff, you know. I enjoy it more most of the time, and it's nice to see the younger players progressing, and I've still got a day left in fight in me.
More than a day left to fight in him. James Wade, the machine, a multiple major champion, a multiple Euro Tour winner. Coming up next, it is Darren Webster versus Cristo Reyes, the Spanish #1.